Hi, this is Tom. Melissa's also known as Detective Thomas Dewey from Due South.
I'm Tony Craig. I play Jack Huey on Due South.
I am Catherine Bruyere.
Hey everyone, this is Ramona Milano, otherwise known as Francesca Vecchio.
This is Paul Haggis.
This is Jay Semko.
This is Paul Gross, and you're listening to Due South by Southeast. Thank you kindly.
To the people behind Due South and the mini Mounties we've lost along the way.
I wish this podcast would carry me away. But while talking to Squee and Michelle, get a word in edgeways. Record over a bottle of rum on the dock of Southampton Bay. Hey, Due South, that is what we're talking about. Due South. Saddle up my microphone, give deep in Baker a bone. Due South by Southeast.
I don't think I'd ever actually heard that version of the theme song. It was pretty cool.
Hello and welcome to Due South by Southeast, the show that gives Due South its dues one episode at a time with some brand new, amazing credits, even if I say so myself. I hope you enjoyed that. That really, it's really nice to give a kind of nice, cool, professional feel to the show. We're going to get into all that in a minute, but I am Detective Squee, and with me as always is Mary Michelle.
Oh my god, you actually said me. I thought you were going to go straight to Willow.
I know, you see, I don't surprise you. And we got Lieutenant Michelle, Lieutenant Willow, somewhere there in the background. I'm sorry, but I'm getting rather distracted. So I have my new specs, basically. I need reading glasses now. And it's really distracting that they keep on picking up some light from behind. We will get that sorted out for another day, but I might just lose those for a second. So guys, yeah, welcome back. And I'm sorry if my eyes are a little bit, a bit red. Basically, yeah, I worked out a little while ago that I needed reading specs. Last time I went to the opticians, I asked at the end of the eye exam, it's like, do I need glasses? They go, well, it's up to you. It's like, that's not helpful. You're the opticians. You're meant to tell me this kind of thing. But yeah, I knew from that moment that it was kind of going to be next time. But yes, it was about a year ago of a 2-year kind of eye test cycle. And it just got to the point where I was just getting headaches all the time. So here we are. I will also say you may notice the room which I'm recording in slightly different. This wallpaper is definitely going to go where I am, in the words of Oscar Wilde, paraphrase slightly. I apologize. I'm going to do something by next episode to at least cover it up for the meantime. This is a very old room in a very old building. This is what's going to be my front room, kind of podcasting room. Yeah, but it's work in progress at the moment. I tried to remove some of the wallpaper and a large chunk of plaster came away, so it needs replastering. So that's why it's going to take a little while. Anyway, Michelle, how are you?
I'm good, and can I say welcome to the club?
Yeah, it's so much more comfortable. Just going to have to try and not look at the light. These are basically easy readers, so I'm basically my main ones are coming. But yeah, for now, these are very much not anti-glare. Anyway, Michelle, yeah, new credits. What did you think?
Really enjoyed them. Very good. Well done, you. I'll give you a little
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, I want to learn a bit of video editing. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to see. The end credits are going to be a work in progress, but you might have a few other surprises throughout the episode, Michelle, because you knew that one was coming.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I got Michelle to watch that 2 or 3 times. And I was going, Michelle, you don't notice anything when you're on screen with Paul Gross? And she goes, no, there's nothing that springs to mind. When we were playing it just then for the first time, I got to say to her, you don't notice that he's patting you on the head? She'd go, oh!
Never, no.
How did you not notice it? I got, you almost got an effect I thought it was kind of fun for Stephen Baker and Willow to spin.
Yeah.
And whatever was happening when I was on screen. I thought it was brilliant for you to be, you're just patted on the head by Paul Gross.
I think I was probably looking at it too closely, like trying to see something like really silly there, that I'd missed the fact I was being patted on the head.
I'm not going to, for paranoid's sake, check this is recording the audio. So we've usually got the soundboard, but we're recording through my Yeti Blue mic. So this is great stuff for you guys.
Even better if they can't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this is recording. Yeah, it seems to be. It looks like.
It looks like it is.
Oh, it's going through the camera. Oh, for Christ. Right, guys, we're now probably coming through a little better than we were a second ago. Sorry for any sound quality issues right there at the beginning of the episode. Oh, for Christ's sake. We may have new professional credits, but rest assured we will still be dumbasses otherwise. So, guys, see, it's a new show. You see, I'm nicer to you, but we still screw stuff up. We do credits. We'll see. Who knows? These things go either way. Oh, I've got Willow's hat here. Perfect fit. So, guys, I'm going to say we are going to stick to it. Yeah, we better get going. We've got to stick to an hour tonight. So, essentially, you're going to be watching this. What was that?
You're just testing the microphone. Yeah, make sure it's picking it up.
I swear this makes me so giddy. These like I'm still adjusting the glasses and where they're not quite perfect to my prescription. Anyway, I forgot where I was. Right, so we've got to stick to an hour. So where you're going to be watching this at earliest on Sunday, maybe if you're watching this later, whatever. But we're pre-recording this, so we cannot answer any questions. We cannot interact in the way we usually do, which will be much missed because it's always fun, especially Sarah Kirk always pops by, and sometimes quite often it's our good buddy Tom Melissus from the show. But yeah, please do drop the comments. We will read them all, or I will, Michelle, forget to. But anyway, I will read them all. We'll read them all and like them. Why are you giving me that murderous look?
Being a little murderous today.
Yeah, because you never forget to like read stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it gives me notifications, which does help. Sorry, this is my mouse, by the way. I'm very fancy. It's a remote control mouse. Anyway, we're going to crack on with things. Michelle, I mean, there's just one question, which I have to ask you, and I'm definitely not stalling while I get something ready, but I want to know is...
Yo ho ho! We're getting drunk as hell! Tell me what rum are we drinking, Michelle?
Hey!
I did tell you there's a little few surprises.
Very nice.
Cheers.
Nice. Let me get my drink. Cheers.
Ready for the next credits. I'm now getting moments ready just in case. In fact, actually, Michelle.
I'm just going to drink. You carry on.
Don't do a wave goodbye. Like this for the end credits. Decide this is just going to be it. Maybe not actually that wallpaper shit.
Wait till we got a good
Actually, I might do that. I might just do it like all of that. And then just at the end, it's like, nah, that wallpaper shit. just leave that in there. Like the little, I did quite like the sound thing. That was actually kind of a happy accident. So I'm knocking things down. It was kind of a happy accident with the little, so we got the mini Mounties, to all the mini Mounties and the people behind Due South. All the mini Mounties we lost away along the way in Due South. That accidentally I forgot to mute that, and I thought it worked really nicely. So I didn't mute the Diefenbaker like when he makes a little snuffle noise. Yeah. Michelle, what rum are we drinking?
Hey, we are drinking.
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 We have had some Captain Morgan as well.
Yeah, we do have some. I can't read what
Well, if you face towards the camera.
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
Tell No Tales, Mango.
Try and get the glare off. People can see that.
I know it's backwards, but I just did my nutting when we used to have the camera flipped, because it's like, I'm not on that side. My room doesn't look like that.
It's very nice. Very nice rum.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, mango flavor is very, very good. This is one of the ones from the stable at Aldi. So please do check that out. Aldi, genuinely, like, they are really good for rum. Yeah, always very reliable. And now they've got quite a range, as well as the old Hopkins, which we know and love.
We do love an old Hopkins.
We do indeed. So that's what rum we're drinking. And now, maybe there might be another little surprise. Who knows? Canadian Club. I was feeling very silly when I did that one.
Clearly.
You enjoying this?
Yeah, I'm
The Drunken Sailor I was very pleased with in the last one as well. So, have you got anyone? No. I haven't thought of anyone either.
Well, should I add
Right.
Alfie?
Sure. Who's Alfie?
My daughter's new fella. Well, he's getting added.
Alfie, welcome to Mini Mountain
Alfie.
Club, and gotta treat my niece with respect. That's all I'm saying.
He's number 144.
144. You better be watching it. I can lean right into the camera now, and I'm not afraid to do it. Anyway.
You can see him now.
Yeah, I'm trying desperately to do this, which isn't doing my. I've also pulled the muscle in my neck. I'm falling apart, basically, people. I'm old. What can I say? So, Michelle, that's what rum we're drinking.
Yep.
That's what was the other bit?
The mini Mountie.
That was the mini Mountie. Yep, that's what I said. So now let's get on. We're talking about this week's episode. We need something for that. We're gonna have to get a new jingle. I'm gonna have to reach out to Mr. Garrison.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
if
love a
we've got some
jingle.
there.
Give us a jingle.
We do love a jingle, and not just the Christmassy kind. So, Michelle.
Yeah, that was an episode.
Yeah.
We watched an episode.
Yeah, we did. It was actually a really fun one. This is sort of one which I think this era of Due South does really well. It's kind of light, silly, but kind of like it's a really cool plot idea as well. The idea that sort of they kind of did it before, but it played out very differently because they had that one where there was the drugs which they were trying to work out. There was a different man written down.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, you can't contact Ray Vecca. It just plays out very differently, but it is basically the same idea.
Yeah.
Just in this case, it's like there's a dead body as opposed to the drugs. They're trying to work out what happened, but it's trying to clue back.
It was really good. I
yeah.
enjoyed this one so much. Yeah.
And the stakes seem good. I like the fact that we'll get into it, but like I like the fact that they kind of signposted that even if his mum wanted him, I'd send send a new Ray. That kind of took the sin off the because like they did. Don't know if you ever used to watch the X-Files.
I did.
Near the end, after David Duchovny left, they did a few episodes where they tried to do a Mulder episode without Mulder. So basically, it was like, "Oh, he just left. We just missed him." Dagnambit. And they did that a couple of times.
I don't remember that. I probably didn't see the older one.
It was so shit. It was annoying every time. But this one, it's like, we're not going to be showing you, like David Marciano ain't going to come from behind the curtain. And I know there was still probably some of us when we first watched it, kind of like, no, they're just saying that. But they told us you can't complain to them what you thought, really, if they didn't, if they tried to tell you. Because always we want to see him, so we're going to try and convince ourselves. But yeah, and funnily enough, actually, I thought, which we'll get into, that it was very Chicago celebratory of the Chicago Police Department, and like there was a lot of it was certainly kind of like a lot of gritty stuff about like Ray. I don't want to preempt it too much, but Ray had roughed someone up, and that's why they kind of covered up.
Yeah.
But here we've got like them very intensely interrogating someone because a cop was killed. So it's like, it was very much centered around the kind of story of like the Chicago police. Like, David Marciano's complaint was the storylines. And I know one episode doesn't make up for most of it centering around the Mountie, but let's face it, the Mountie is the draw. But, I understand his feelings. It was sold to him a certain way he felt, and it didn't deliver him that. That's something different to, the show being great. I can understand if he was told that, and sort of sometimes they make some promises and they don't come true when you get to the filming stage.
Yes.
Anyway, Michelle, where do we start?
So we start at the station, and I wrote down a few things because it was such a chaotic scene to start with. There was so much going on.
Yes.
In the station, it was just pure chaos.
And they were like all cut up, and like there was just everyone had something different bandaged.
Yes, that was
that was
really
fun.
funny. Yes, like Ray walks in and he's got because at first I thought it was like a head injury. I wrote down a head injury, but then as he starts talking, you realise it's his ear, like someone trying to bite his ear off.
Well, it's on his head.
True. It's on his head. Yeah, so he's got this mad...
that got it. Oh, there
I
you go.
heard that as well.
Yeah, it was loud.
Back in place, people.
I've been using Ten's machine on it, and it's like it's just loosened up. It just wants to go now. Oh, there you go. Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah. Ray head ear injury. And then he's talking to a guy who's handcuffed to a chair.
Mm.
And he's like, oh, at first he's not wanting to talk. And he's like, hey, if you want to stay here all night, handcuffed to a chair, fine by me. And he's like, no, come on. So Ray handcuffs him and he just legs it. He just runs for the door. And who's there to stop him?
And there was just a shot of the three of them there. And I said to you, as I believe was entered into the log, this is just a Due South caper waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Like just the three of them. There was something about the shot. It's like those two and the guy of the week there either trying to save or is going to get embroiled in helping them solve it. In this case, the latter. Just fun. And, it was just it was kind of Joe Pesci. And I don't know how deep you go into the Lethal Weapon films. Didn't you watch some years ago? No, might be some.
I don't think I've ever watched a Lethal Weapon film.
But every now and again, you get into like there was some franchise I remember you watched which you hadn't before. But anyway, on the third one, Joe Pesci's character, I think he's introduced in the second, but the third one he's kind of featured a bit more, and he kind of like starts like he kind of joins the crew a little bit as the third member. Throughout the like he's on the poster of that one, kind of peering between the two of them, looking very serious back to back with the guns. The usual post, but with Joe Pesci poking through. So he's kind of comedy form in it. And yeah, one stage he asks if he can have a gun. They go, no! It just kind of reminds me of that. Like he's the guy who isn't one of the cops who wants to be a part of it, and they kind of warm up to him.
Yeah.
There's definitely some archetypes which go before that.
That definitely sounds like what happened to this episode. Yeah, so I wrote down set up for a Due South caper. And then, so they're taking him then to an interview room to interrogate him. And obviously, Benny's talking to Ray about the ear. And this is where we get the first ear anecdote.
Yes, this is insane. So yeah, it's like a boxing match. And one of the guys, what were the names again? Calhoun?
So, Yukon John.
Yep.
And Haystack Calhoun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Talking about how they would fake biting ears off and they would take it in turns. Like one night someone would pretend to bite someone's ear off, the next night.
Well, no, someone's really worried because someone bit someone's ear off, and then they went the next night and the other guy bit the ear off. It was just part of the setup. It's great, really good fun. Classic. And it's like, what's that got to do with anything, Benny? It's like, it's just near anecdote.
It's not going anywhere. I'm just telling you about it. There was a bit of a theme that kind of ran through the episode. These anecdotes.
Yeah, and there was one right at the end which seems like it should have been. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we were disappointed it wasn't, weren't we?
Yeah.
And then there was comments about because the Diefenbaker was just like hanging out in the station, and we were like, well, maybe we need to give him a little patch or something.
Yeah, Dee's just suddenly like he's no longer just like there's no longer a reason for him to be where he is. They're just going to say, yeah, he's just in the station. Like when you go into the interrogation room. Diefenbaker's just there. It's like, has he got a job there now? Is he a part of the team officially? Or has Walsh just gone and say, oh, fuck, right, I give up. Right, I can't make the Mountie leave, so why am I going to make the Wolf leave? Solid, just let them both. Like, let them all in. Who cares anymore?
I mean, it was a chaotic scene in the station anyway. I think Deep could get away with being in that day.
Yeah. And he does like, he is working, so because like as soon as they go in there, it's like, oh yeah. Just no sudden movements. He doesn't like those.
Yeah,
it's like,
so then Ray is in the interrogation room, and then through the window in the door, he sees you got 2 drinks on the go.
You know I have.
Yeah,
you poured me one. Yeah, I was just checking to see if that was empty. Wait, it feels like outing me on camera. Like that's not a problem. I mean, probably, but not. This isn't evidence of it. It's like it's the fact that I had my glass over here and I had it full, and you'd finish your drink, and then you poured me one. I go, oh, okay, I'll have a second one, and now you just go, oh, Johnny, 2 drinks.
I thought you were going, oh, like pour me another drink. I was like, you already got.
No, I was just saying if it was empty. Okay. It seemed like an alcoholic.
Cheers.
Anyway,
Oh.
cheers. So yeah,
Oh.
Ray sees the bitey man is in the station, and he gets really angry, and he punches a hole in the wall. Sorry, Willow, are we waking you up?
Well, she's just recreating it. Yeah, the hole in the wall.
Yeah, he
It's of a
punches a hole in
certain
the wall.
shape.
Oh, here we go.
I must admit, I turned around right when he punched the wall, but I turned back. I looked at the hole in the wall. I'm just saying, look at the shape. You get one sort of normal oblong, or look, and then the other one looks like the balls. It looked like a cock and balls. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I was like, did the dead guy, just before he died, he just like tried to make one last really weird bid for freedom, and he pointed out how high it is, so maybe he's just doing a jumping schlap.
Maybe.
And then he wrapped himself up in
Wrapped
cling
himself
film.
back up and died.
And just like, I give up.
Yeah, it sounds plausible.
Yeah, I believe that's what happened.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even count, like, whoever it was, just put him in there, left him with the bag. Go, well, when you lose hope, it's there for you.
Fill yourself up, please.
Yeah, it's like,
Otherwise you're gonna
it'll never
sink later.
happen. No, it's right. I do feel pretty hopeless now. And parts of me are sore that I didn't intend to be. This was a really bad escape plan.
And it didn't work. He died. Yeah, so there's a hole in the wall. We're just going to move on from that. And then Dee kind of takes Benny over to the hole to look through it. So I'm guessing, like, once the hole in the wall was made, then Dee could smell there was a body in there.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, why didn't he smell it before? I know there was shellac.
It was very nice, yeah, because I think there was some suggestion that and he'd been very clever with the, like, he treated him with something because they said they could smell. Oh, was that the shellac?
the
Oh,
shellac,
sorry, I thought the shellac was on the wall.
Yeah.
I don't know what shellac is.
No, but it was mentioned. So I'm guessing that was like supposed to mask the smell. So it's like Dee must have a very sensitive nose, and I know he's not a cadaver dog or anything, but I would have thought he'd be able to smell it.
Yeah.
But not until the hole was there. So then he takes Benny over. Benny looks in, finds the body. They've still got this guy in the interrogation room as well.
I was putting my glass over, for fuck's sake. Jesus, I feel like I'm in police now. Frame Michelle as well. If nothing else, my enabler.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. No defense there.
Going back to the show.
Yeah.
I thought it was really weird that the way they reacted.
Yeah.
They weren't like, oh my goodness, there's a body. Let's get Walsh in here. Let's make this a crime scene. Let's do this properly. It was like, let's get this body out of the wall.
Yeah.
In front of another well, it wasn't prisoner, was he? But they were this guy they were interrogating. They just drag this body out and then try and solve it without anybody else in the station knowing about it.
There was a little Weekend at Bernie's feel to it. Let's just say that.
Yeah, because you're in a police of all places. You're in a police station. That was a crime scene. You've got a body. They're touching everything, getting their prints on it.
It was. I thought the justification was really nice, though. The whole idea that again, it's like let's prove Ray's innocent. So if and it was like the step by step they sort of took us through of like, because Ray Kowalski said it's like well. What do you man say? Like, better him than me? It's like, I'm sorry, but yeah. And he goes, look, it's fine, but it's like, if Eternal Affairs realise you're not Ray Vecchio, which I love the goes like, I don't give him that much credit. It's like, then it puts actual Ray Vecchio's life at risk because they'd have to go and find him.
That's got to be one of
and
the
also,
cutscenes,
it really makes me look bold. I don't like that. Oh God, no! Oh no, we do not like that. My hair is far too high on my forehead for that look. So anyway, that's better.
Yeah, so we find out that Ray is a suspect because Benny talks to.
And the fact they put it together and say, it's if
Ray
if they discover and they go after Ray,
Yeah.
then it'll blow his cover and his life's at risk because he's undercover with
Mhm.
the mob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mob.
And yeah, as you say, yeah, the lovely scenes when Francesca comes in. I say lovely, but it's like very well acted. She comes in and sees the dead body and screams, and then yeah, that's a really powerful scene when she talks about being sexually assaulted by this guy, and then Ray's understandable rage at that.
Yeah.
And it's like you then start to build in this thing that Ray roughed him up, and that's why they didn't read him as Miranda rights. It's sort of like a tacit agreement between them and the guy. It's like yeah. And it keeps Ray's badge, may I say.
Yeah.
And it's great because if the guy comes forward, then they'll just go, okay, well, we'll charge him. It's like yeah. And it's just enough to open up that doorway to like, did he actually kill him? But we know there's nowhere in hell like Due South if they make Ray Vecchio a killer.
Yeah, they couldn't, and that's part of the storyline as well because Benny's just like, no, he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah,
This isn't Ray.
Yeah, no, it's really nice, and you're far enough into New Ray and Benny's relationship that he trusts him enough to know that he says he's true blue. He really is.
Yeah, so they decide they're going to solve the case by themselves by the end of the day.
Yeah,
they're just going to keep this body in this interview.
Body.
I
said body. You just slightly tripped on it, so good. It's body.
Yeah,
keep us body. Gotta get rid of the rest. It's weird.
But then
they're just fucking around at this stage. Sorry, pardon my language.
Shocking.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But a complication that they have. I'm just moving on.
Yeah, I'm sensing a theme here.
So in the next interrogation room, there's this bitey man, and he's being interrogated. I'm just going to call him bitey man.
Bitey man.
So, and he's a cop killer. Anyway, there's some questions going on about how he's managed to get away before. Has he done a deal with the feds? There's a lot going on. So Walsh really wants to be in that interview room so he can kind of listen in and watch what's going on with this guy in the feds. So he's trying to get in that interview room. They're trying to stop Walsh from getting in because they've got a dead body in there.
Yeah, as you do.
As you do. All these shenanigans going on. So it's hilarious because they have to get this body out in the end. I don't know if I'm going too far ahead.
I've just realised it's this cousin bloody flexion. Working very carefully.
Yeah.
Without destroying the room. Hey, I think I can. So I was trying to cover up as much. No, it's not.
No, it's not helping.
I thought that was it.
It's not helping.
Okay.
Yeah, but one of the funny things. So Benny wants to speak to the real Ray and goes to speak to Walsh about that, and that's when we hear that under no circumstances, even if his mum's dying, no one's getting to see Ray.
It's some really lovely stuff, I think, for Walsh or Welsh, as when you get D.A. Kowalski, Stanley Ray's ex-wife. Yeah, she calls him Welsh at one stage.
Yeah,
it's really weird. It's one of those little funkies.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of things which Walsh gets to pick out of his bag here. Like, he always plays this disgruntled guy, but it's like he doesn't usually play this angry. You always get the feeling he's in control. Like he's going, it's like, hey, you're going to do this, you're going to sort this out. And that's what all there is to it. We've got to get this, he's very to the point, very kind of like, I just haven't got time for your bullshit. And even when he, like, there's some fun comedy moments he gets sometimes with, when he gets lost thinking about this girl who he used to like and how she screwed him over in his eyes. Like, there's a wonderful scene where he's talking about it. It's like, then they break your heart, right? Benny, and that's what you got to remember. Just lovely stuff like that. But he rarely gets to play this kind of really driven, really angry, really kind of you kill one of our own. So it's kind of really nice for him to just be able to let fly.
Yeah. Yeah, and after he's spoken to Walsh, so Benny borrows Ray's car because he wants to go and speak to one of the builders who put the drywall into the interview room. It's so funny.
Let's go. Accelerate, gas, accelerate.
Break. Accelerate, break.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah.
It's so funny. He's reminding him, isn't he? He's like, remember, Benny? Accelerate, break.
Yeah.
Accelerate, break.
And then when he's doing it later, he gets it mixed up. He's like, break, accelerate? No, accelerate, break.
But in the back of his car, he's got his dad.
Yes, and you get this theme. Again, I think I've said this before when we were talking about his dad. I love the whole dynamic that it's... he always appears when he's face a moral dilemma,
Mhm.
which does open up the question: is like, is he actually seeing his dad, or is he just imagining this? Because the timing of popping up is exactly when you would want a ghost of your dad to pop up. If he's real, you would think that is the points where he would be kind of destined to pop up. But if it's in his head,
It's very much his conscience in this one, wasn't he?
yeah,
Very
and he always seems to fit that. And it's like, but I think if you did ever imagine that person, you would imagine them how they were. So it's like if they are, like in this one, he gets a little bit, pushing him to kind of go after Fran, which we'll get into in a bit. But like, yeah. I think if he was like that, you would imagine that into your recreation of him. Those little character things about them that you remember. So it's nicely played. I won't give it away because I don't know how much you remember the end. Did you ever see the end of Due South?
No.
So I won't give it away because that all gets resolved, but I don't want to give it away right now.
Okay. Yeah, there was a really funny moment with Benny and Franny as well. So she's thanking Benny because he wants to kind of prove Ray innocent, and it's so funny. She's talking to him, and so she starts off the conversation. You're like a priest, and I can talk to you, and not like a priest, Obviously, she just goes down this rabbit hole.
Well, there's certain things priests can do or can't do that you can do. It's like, actually, you'd be surprised. There was a friend of mine known as Wacky Jim, and he what was that dude?
I didn't write down his name. I didn't write down his name, but he went after a cougar or something. Tracking a cougar for days.
Or he used to track cougars. Like there was something about he used to do that for a village. No, but not those things, Benny. Like other things that I know you can do that they can't. Oh no, it must be off.
He got very flustered.
Yeah, it was very nice. Again, classic Due South, a classic Franny kind of Benny interaction. And it's like I just like it. It never feels like he completely puts it off the table. It's better if they never do, and it works better. And it's great. But it's like when I got to interview
Ramona
Milano. Sorry, Ramona Milano. I got to interview her. Absolutely amazing. So many great stories. But yeah, she talked a bit about that, and it's like, do you think it happened? She said no, and I go, yeah, I know. But it's like, I'm glad. I think that's perfect though. That you want to think it did, but it didn't.
Yeah,
I think that's how it's got to be. Yeah.
But it was such a funny moment. So Benny's speech to builder. Oh yes, then brilliant. So he goes to see this the builder who did the drywall, and then the bit of a theme that we've got going on is with Benny. Every time he introduces himself, he goes straight into his backstory.
Yeah. Because they did it so that they wouldn't have to. The network wanted them to put something at the beginning. They go, well, what if we just put it in the show? So that was, yeah.
So every time he just completely goes into starts his backstory of why he is where he is. It's just really funny just to see it.
And they always do something a bit different with it. So this time there's a construction noise starts going over him saying it. They don't even really include it, which is
really
hilarious thing. That was this sort of
you hear mandate. You hear enough to know what he's saying or what he's going on about, but he never really gets through it, does he?
Very, very fun. I really like that bit. So and the construction guy is really interesting. A great character actor for a start. Yeah, just really interesting guy. But it's like he is that fast talking Chicago guy. What was the thing he said? There was something which almost sounds creepy, but it isn't quite.
Yeah, so he was going to collect something from the secretary or something, and then Benny's next to him and he collects it, and the way he goes, it's kind of
she's
like,
a nice, she's great, isn't she? And like, there's just like possible, like great, it's like it's just
the way he did it was just like, is he just like going to Benny? Hey, she's all right, isn't she?
Yeah, but it's like I think he is just saying she's really great at her job. She's really great.
Yeah,
she's really because she hands him something straight away. And it's just a weird delivery, which just it was slightly off kilter, but not quite enough to actually believe he's creepy.
Yeah, it was a weird moment.
It was just odd framing.
Yeah, and I wrote down Benny's backstory. Oh yeah, because then I think after the builder bit, I think that's when we find out that Ray roughed up the guy who's now dead.
Yes, that's really nice. Again, it just seems yeah, plausible enough.
Yeah.
That's
Because then you're like, obviously trying to rule Ray out, but then it's starting to look like actually there's a possibility that he did. But then I wrote down we got another ear anecdote, but I didn't write down what it was. But I think he was saying that somebody's ear came off with a hook and he sewed it back on, but he sewed it on the wrong way round.
Yeah, or something like that. This one was slightly quicker, but weirder.
Yeah, and it was like, Ray's just like, why are you telling me this? It's just another ear anecdote. It's just, stop telling me ear anecdotes.
Yes, yeah.
Like, the last thing you want to hear is when you've got an injured ear, is like ear anecdotes.
That's why the one at the end would have been so perfect. It was an anecdote. It really would have just been a button on it. I don't usually have many notes for the Due South race, but this one, it was right there.
Just one more ear anecdote.
Yeah, it's like his dad tells, like, yeah, may as well just say it. It's like his dad basically says an anecdote at the end, and there's no reason if you made an ear anecdote, or even going, it's like, oh, it's just an anecdote about dead bodies. Like he's doing the same thing. Yeah, it's like definitely. Yeah.
But then the fun starts because they've got to get the body out of the room. I think this was my favorite part of the program. Just everything they go through is with this body. It's hilarious. They decide to like dress him up. They're putting glasses on him. Like Franny gets a wheelchair.
Yeah, again, Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
It kind of been that far from when Weekend at Bernie's was a big
Probably
kid.
not, yeah.
I think
probably not.
I don't think there's a few ones which I think like they put on. It's clear it's meant to be some sort of take or reference to a movie.
Yeah.
This one, I think the writers just might watch Weekend at Bernie's, and maybe not even consciously. But
it was a lot of physical comedy, I think, with this.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a dead body which is wheeling around the stage. You're gonna do some physical.
Yeah, they're wheeling this body around and it's getting left in places. And I think my favourite bit was when the
guy talking to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Benny goes looking for the body because Fran had left him somewhere, and Benny finds him, and the guy's having a conversation with him. And he just like wheels him away, and he's like, "Oh, I'll see you later. I'll call you."
Yeah.
Very funny. And then Benny tries to hide him in a toilet. He sits him on a toilet. Then we had quite a funny moment with Walsh.
Yeah.
Walsh just comes in the toilet and you can just see Benny like higher than the stool.
Oh yeah. Is this something you do differently in Canada? And he goes, not really. I can think of does the flush, then just steps down from the loo. It's brilliant. Yeah. Again, classic G Sales Fair. Like they do that kind of slapstick really well, and then. In fact, I mean, I'd say this is the kind of episode that this series does really well. As in this series of Due South. Sorry, this season. This season does really well. The latter seasons do comedy pretty well. Like sometimes, I'd say the fair criticism is occasionally it overtakes. Oh yeah, I mean they do their own thing. I kind of like that. They've done something different. But to welcome in a new. Right, I feel like you've got to make it slightly different, otherwise you'll miss the other one more.
Yeah.
But I do prefer when they have this kind of mix. I think this one's a very good mix. It's got quite a lot of like, even though comedy's kind of maybe at the forefront, there's a lot of kind of serious stuff. Like again, the scene where Fran talks about sexual assault, like there's it's very lightly played, appropriate to the type of show this is, relatively, but still she's talking about sexual assault. Like you get the feeling you didn't, I don't know, completely assault, shall we say?
Yeah.
But she was assaulted still. Yeah, I'm not saying that's excusing, but just context of what you get the impression of is like he inappropriately touched her, kind of like it goes to there. But yeah, it's but the way they dealt with it, I thought was really good. You do still feel it as you should, but it's not. It doesn't go too far for a tea time. Like Saturday Tea Time, this was shown on the BBC. Actually, the clip of Paul Gross where you see him saluting in a black background, that was from a trailer where he's talking about them moving it from Saturdays to Thursdays or whatever it was. And he talks about it and gives a salute at the end. That was recorded for a BBC advert, funny enough.
Didn't know that.
Well, when I was looking up all the kind of clips, I was like, I need a salute. So I just typed in Paul Gross, Due South salute.
Yeah.
And that's what it came up with. So yeah. And then I found us doing the little that's like I forget where I was going with that. Oh yeah. So very nicely handled.
Yeah, because there's like you were saying earlier on, there are some like grittier things than they would normally do. So they had a real
Yeah.
mix of just silly physical comedy and harder, grittier stuff as well. But it all worked really well.
I mean, I'll pay them the very high
Mm.
compliments as far as I'm concerned. They do that really heartbreakingly serious to comedy, as well as my benchmark for this is Only Fools and Horses. Prime example is always that what was meant to be the last episode, they end up recording some more afterwards, but it did this in of not being bad, but it wasn't as good as that. Like, if you can't beat that ending, it seemed wrong that it went back so well, but they're decent enough episodes, just not as good. And there is that first ending, and then, like, Rodney and Cassandra have just lost their baby. Anyone who doesn't know Only Fools and Horses is a great BBC sitcom. It's legendary over here. Nicholas Lyndhurst and David Jason, Sir David Jason now, I think. Anyway, David Jason in the lead. Absolutely amazing. But it does, it's such a fun comedy, but it does moments where, like, someone's lost a child, and like Del Boy fakes the lift getting broken down, so it forced him to talk about it because he keeps on running away from the situation, and he forced him to talk about it. And next minute they're just like cracking wise, and you're cracking up because of the lift, like, because it gets the lift working, and Rodney realizes it was a setup, and to go between things like that to me is epic writing. It's when you can go between comedy and serious moments like that, and it doesn't feel jarring, it doesn't feel inappropriate, it feels real to life, because a lot of the time some really dark shit happens, you go through it, your friends help you through it, and then you make a really inappropriate joke which is really funny at a very dark time, and it works, and it just makes you feel better, and everyone realizes that's an inappropriate joke at that time, but it's okay. And I think this does the transition very well.
Yeah, I love that Benny came up with the ingenious idea of hiding the body down in the morgue.
Yeah.
Where else would you keep a dead body?
And more is great.
Yeah.
Like, he's always great, but having the idea of hiding. And then Franny seems to get turned on by it.
Very weird being turned on down.
And then, this is what I was saying before, Benny's dad goes like, "Go for it, son, seize the day." It's like, what the hell? But like, if that was, like, again, at this moment, we don't know whether it's Benny imagining his dad or if his dad's actually there. Again, there's stuff which kind of pushes it one way later on. But given that, if we're to say this is Benny imagining him, at some point his dad's been a bit like that with him. It's like, "Go for it, son, go on, and that girl, like, she's, I'm tired." And he's put it into that. I like that idea. Yeah,
that was her. So we love seeing this mortician, Mort the mortician.
Oh yeah.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, and we may as well tackle his, because is he in 2 scenes?
Yeah, he's in 2 scenes. In this,
we'll do a kind of sort of 2 for 1. I think.
Yeah,
we'll tackle them all in one.
We'll do them all.
So it's when they have the scene with him, and he goes like, "Oh, was our body dead when it came?" It's like, "Yes, it was." Okay then, and then Benny's dad, he goes like, "Oh, where was it? Oh, yes, examining the hand." And then Benny's dad puts his hand down and he starts to do the nails on his hand.
The mortician's like actually looking under the nails.
Because his dad said, it's like, he goes, some of these people, they look hideous. It's like, "No, I look after my skin, make sure I do my," like, he makes a joke about like cuticles. And you think,
getting fresh air.
It's one of those things where, I don't know about you, but I kind of clocked that. It seems a bit weird, but okay, why are they saying about doing that? How would he get that? I'm thinking all this. And then it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, just one of those weird Due Southisms. And then you see him go, he tricks him into doing it. That's how he does it.
Yep. Yeah.
It's great. Just have to wait till the mortician's a bit distracted, and I'll get him to do my nails.
It was so funny the way Benny carries the body out of the morgue as well. I mean, it's just the amount of physical comedy in this is brilliant.
Yeah. And weirdly having Franny get sexually turned on by it, just
she's a weirdo.
Yeah,
she's a weirdo. But, it was very funny. yeah, so then the body they end up taking back to the interview room. Because Walsh had had that gritty moment, hadn't he? Well, the body's out. He manages to get into the interview room, and they got this gritty interrogation of this guy, this cop killer,
and he's hitting his head against the wall. I assume that was to try and stitch them up that they beat him, but they showed that they're filming it, and actually used that to get the guy to toss out on his ear because like they. So first of all, Walsh comes in and goes like, ask him any question. Goes, okay, then you push him into the chair, and he really kind of just is shouting to his face. So doesn't even see the thing that they want.
Yeah,
he's strained to it, and just it's really great acting by him. It just shows that even though he can be the comedy fool, even though he can be the just not in a bad way, but the stereotypical like angry station house police chief. That is an archetype in American TV and probably in our TV as well. We've got Gene Hunt and the likes on Life on Mars. And if you haven't seen that show, check it out. It's amazing. So for like it shows that he's more than that. He can do more than that. And I think that's what Due South does really well. They're not afraid of going, it's like, well, that archetype exists for a reason. That's a really fun thing. And especially with someone who's going to be as annoying to that character as Benny would be, that's just catnip right there. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But also, we know all our guys can do more. So no matter what you are in Due South, there's usually some opportunity you get given to show that more that you can do.
Yeah.
And it's a great episode for him.
Yeah, it was. And I think so. Benny had realised that the killer was probably the builder that we saw earlier on who installed the drywall, and he'd arranged for him to come to the station. So he's in the interview room where the body was found. Obviously, they covered up the hole with a poster. Yeah. So which was of like a sexy cop. I forget what the like lieutenant.
Yeah. Or detective.
Yeah.
Detective Danger or something like. It might have been Detective Danger, and it's got like silly. It's a picture of this woman in looks like an Ann Summers police uniform with the like bra showing a little bit through, and just it's like okay, looked like in the style of Pulp Fiction actually. The writing was Pulp Fiction style.
So he's in the interrogation room, and they just sit back for a while and just watch him to see if he's going to go and check out the wall, which he does. He goes and like looks behind the poster, and then Ray kind of like bursts in, doesn't he, and starts questioning him. And then they wheel in the dead body.
Yeah.
Like, do you recognize this guy? So it was him. They got the guy in the end, and it wasn't Ray.
Yeah,
we knew it wasn't Ray. They knew it wasn't Ray, but
it was never going to be Ray. Yeah. Again, it's just not Due South if it's Ray now.
So they wanted to prove that before they actually admit the fact they've got a dead body in the station.
And it's again whether that is Benny's actual dad or if it's his own self-reflection. It is that thing that to Benny, like being true as a cop is the most important thing, but friendship's even more important than that most important of things. And it's something which you feel like he gets, but it's like it shows like at the beginning he kind of learns it through the first Ray, and there's even that episode where Victoria's Secret where it's all about the fact that he chose his duty over loyalty to people he cares about. And so it shows that it's a lesson he's learned. So this is a great opportunity to explore that and to, again, I think like Due South does what a lot of shows of the time do of like having, you can pick up any episode. It's going to be the same show. Like, the characters don't change that much. They don't progress that much. The art of TV of that time was like the character is the same at the beginning and the end of the episode. It can change a bit during, but you only get really big character developments very sparingly because you want someone to be able to put it on and watch it and enjoy that episode on its own, not connect to everything. Now it's all about interconnectivity and it's ongoing storylines and stuff. Back then it was like that, and it's like when you've got something like the lead, the second lead leaves, and you've got to put in a new one. It's an opportunity for you to progress it forward, because you're not going to put a Kowalski episode on and not notice it's not Vecchia. we're not in the world where they, where everyone else pretends it's not him.
When they've done that in programs, haven't they?
We're kind of Paul Gross in that first episode where he goes like, "Where's Ray Vecchio?"
Everyone's
it's like,
calling him Ray.
yeah.
Even like Francesca's
Yeah.
like, "That's my brother Ray. What are you talking about?"
So it just gave them that opportunity to progress it forward and to have like, this is everything Benny's learned in those first 2 years, and you can accelerate that growth, put it all together, and having been someone different at the start of this new journey, which he then is pretty much going forward. They do a few little things because they are, especially when you're heading towards the end, then that's when you do some kind of character changes, getting them set up for whatever's happening at the end and where you're going to leave that character. You have to do some of that setup, most of the time they do. And as I remember, Due South does a little bit. They lay the groundwork for the last episode a little bit.
Yeah.
But mainly, this is the configuration for him. He gets to be. Anyway, I digress. Have you got anything more to say on dead body walking or dead man walking? Dead guy running. There you go.
Yeah, dead guy running. Only really that we get a bit of a shootout in the station. He makes a run for it, and it was just funny because in all the commotion, the other guy that's in the next room, he's
So I didn't want to interrupt.
the other guy, bitey man, who's in the next room, makes a run for it. And he's like, "I'm gonna shoot someone," and he goes to the dead body.
Yes, that was
God,
yeah.
It was like,
is he gonna shoot? And then a Ray goes like, "He's going away. He's still armed. Like he could still shoot you. He can change targets."
Yeah. But yeah, he was a bit done for when he turns around and realizes the guy's already dead.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah. And that's where we exit the episode. We've got like about 9 minutes left. So if you start pouring, I will get ready. Actually, you don't want to be ready because you ready to watch this?
Go on then.
Can you give me the information I seek? And tell me what the best moments of the week are?
The sort of weird acid trip. One of those.
You make a good Diefenbaker.
I just wanted to do something different each one of them. So, did you notice? Did you notice the theme?
What Dief?
So wait, we'll play them back. So we've got the first one. It's going to play.
You don't want to play now?
No. Okay, I was going to try and play the. That one's got you.
Yo ho ho! We're getting drunk as hell. Tell me what rum are we drinking, Michelle?
Yeah, and that's you again. Okay.
Can you give me the information I seek? And tell me what the best moments of the week are?
And that one's me and
You
Benny.
and
Willow, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. So, Michelle, let's go for an easy one because I think he's featured a lot on this one. What's your best Diefenbaker moment of the week this week?
I think it's got to be when he's in the station and the guy, I think he stands up or something, and Dief is just kind of like growling at him, and
Nice.
And Benny's like, "Oh, don't make any sudden movements," and yeah.
I was very tempted to go for the bit where he kind of like, because he's the one who finds the corpse. I just found it really fun when he was sat in the front of the car and he wouldn't get out. And like, it just reminds me so much of Willow. It's like, Willow, no, you know, you're not meant to be up there. You're just staying up there, aren't you? Oh, for Christ's sake, right, fine, whatever. It's like, if you're a dog owner, you've had that moment where you're just, they've ground you down. You can't argue anymore. And it's just like, I just give up this one.
Yeah.
It's one fight I'm going to give up. Same with kids. Same with my mum. To be honest with you, she's in her A's. It's difficult sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Love you, mum. Anyway, so that's my and the most oh shit, I didn't think of that of these. Okay, this is gonna be fun. The most American of the week. So we can't do
I'm gonna go for the
I got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the guy that was with Ray and Benny quite a lot. I can't remember his name now. The guy.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I can see that.
You know, he was a criminal. I think he ended up wanting to be a cop by the end of it.
It's a really nice one, actually. It's a good story.
He was really enjoying it. He was like, "I want you to deputize me." He was like, "Oh, you guys are cool." He was, you know, he's gone from being a criminal, I think, to wanting to be a cop.
I mean, in another world, spoilers, he doesn't come back, but it's like he could have been, say, they were placing the civilian aid.
Yeah.
Like if, thankfully, she didn't.
We're not going to say she. Yeah.
But if Fran went anywhere, like that's the kind of origin episode you could have had for a character like that.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this
I'm going to go with the guy, the other guy was locked up.
Headbanging biting man.
Headbanging biting man, as we all know him. He was there in the credits as that.
Yeah.
Headbanging biting man, because there is that thing of the American, like in these cop shows, there is these kind of like, you reminded me a bit of, there's a character in Batman called Zaz, and he's kind of got tally marks from people he's killed on his skin, and he has a different tally each time. He's bold.
Okay.
He's really wild and psycho, and I think that is a character seen more than this once in American cop shows and in Batman, as I say, and you can't get more American than Batman. And finally, the most Canadian of the week. Well, I'm using, so I'm going to use the guy who turned good in the end and sucked his morals, and it was that guy who was working with them all episode.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
The wise ass Crim turned good because he became the Canadian spirit, and he wasn't picking up with any guff, just like Justin Trudeau on his way out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. So just off the top of my head, because I hadn't really thought about these, I'm going to go for the lady that works on the building site.
Okay, because she's really good at her job.
She was good. She was
really helpful.
She was helpful. She was, she was great. Well, I can't remember what you said.
She's good, right?
Yeah. Everyone thinks she's great.
Good,
so
right?
She's going to go down as my Canadian.
It's pretty good. I like it. So, guys, that is your tight 1 hour due south by southeast for this month. We are now going to, we haven't discussed when, but we're going to set it as like there's going to be a set, like, so one weekend every month. So I'm like, could go for like maybe first or second weekend of the month. But we're going to put it in our diaries. So it's going to, shall we say?
We're just going to get more organized.
Shall we say go for first weekend of the month?
We'll try for that and see how we go.
Well, that's what we'll say is the aim.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of those things where I think if we've at least got something set, well, then if we can't make it, I think we'll do better than
reorganizing it and getting it done. Yeah.
It'll just be something set in place, and we do want to get more consistent. I think 1 episode a month, 12 episodes a year is probably pretty reasonable. It means also on other times when we meet up, we can actually just hang out and stuff, which is also nice to do, as much as we love doing this and as much as we appreciate you watching. But for Due South by Southeast this week, I have been Detective Squee, who will then set the monitors shaking. This has been some shit wallpaper. What eyes over there, and with me has been
Mountie Michelle. And
until next week, sorry about these last time for these old credits. Just enjoy them while you can. But Michelle, say, that's some sort of device for telling direction. I mean, compass, if you will. And they needed to point it. Certain direction till next week. Which direction would be your recommendation?
I always go due south by southeast.
Keep it real. Don't know where that came from. Oh, I've turned recording. Sorry, we'll now go for the credits.